So I want to bust a myth today, and that myth is that you need some kind of dramatic pause so that you can actually heal. And healing only happens when you actually stop everything, retreat, or step away from your job. Now, as a trauma therapist who runs a business and carries a full schedule, I can tell you healing can absolutely happen while you're living your real life. And in this video, I'm going to show you how. What we've been taught is that rest is the opposite of success. So if you slow down, you're going to fall behind. And that couldn't literally be further from the truth. Real productivity, the kind that's sustainable and aligned with your soul, it actually requires rest. And burnout doesn't just come from doing too much, it comes from doing too much without any kind of recovery. And I'd like to say, you can't sprint a marathon. If you're living in constant survival mode, trying to push through every day at full capacity, you're literally sprinting towards collapse. And I've been there. I'm running a trauma recovery practice, I'm managing a team, I'm writing, I'm studying, I'm serving clients globally. I spent years in that place of functional freeze, high performing, but a bit flat inside. And it wasn't until I started tracking my heart rate variability daily that I realized I'm literally living on the edge of nervous system burnout. And that was my big wake-up call. But I didn't quit because some of us just don't have the ability to be able to quit what we're doing. We have to stay on the track. But I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to take 6 months off. I just changed how I show up every day. And healing doesn't necessarily need to require hours of meditation, weekly massages, and it doesn't have to be this huge break that you take. What it does require is intentional regulation moments built into your actual life. So what worked for me was kind of micro integration of those breaks throughout my day and my week. 60 seconds of breath work every time I have a next client session. Grounding my feet while the kettle boils. 3 really deep exhales between emails. Dropping my shoulders when I'm sitting down. Regulating my nervous system. No multitasking at lunch. Just presence and digestion. Just peace. And every day I check my heart rate variability, and if it's low, I adjust. I have shorter sessions, I take more breaks, and I have more nervous system care. And every Friday I do a self-review. How did I regulate? Where did I override? And where have I honored my actual system? So most people wait to rest until they're absolutely exhausted, but that's not rest. That's actually recovering from collapse. And as a therapist, I see this every single week. Clients who, they feel like they need to break down just to justify slowing down. And rest in reality isn't passive, it's a strategy. It protects your cognitive function and it sharpens your emotional regulation. It extends your creative capacity. And scheduling micro rests into your calendar, like meetings, actually improve your productivity. Your work improves and you start thinking clearer. Your creativity becomes sharper and your nervous system, it is calmer. So the goal isn't necessarily to stop working. The goal is to work from a regulated state, one that supports your body, your mind, and your capacity. And productivity isn't supposed to be about pressure, it's about rhythm. And here's what I use to create rhythm. So I have 90-minute focus blocks where I follow that with a 10 to 15-minute reset. I schedule screen-free evenings. I have a re-entry ritual every Monday morning where I check in with myself before I check in with the world. These are just 3 simple things that I do. I probably have about 40 other things that I do in any given month. But they're not luxuries. These are nervous system maintenance tools, and they've literally changed everything for me. So the bottom line is, you don't need to pause your life to heal. You need to change your pace of your life. You need to build moments that say, I matter, I'm safe, I can soften. Because you're not a machine, and you don't have to choose between healing and high performance. With micro rest, nervous system care, and honest check-ins, you can absolutely do both. If this resonated, I'd love for you to subscribe to our channel or share a comment below. What's one way that you could build micro rest into your week?